There used to be a curse following certain ex-Liverpool players, and looking at the trend, it was destined to catch up with Luis Díaz. Every fan who had prior knowledge of this curse said there was no way he would escape it, but the Colombian has now reversed it completely. How has he managed to do that, and what is even this curse we're talking about in the first place? We'll find out in this video today. This is how Luis Díaz reversed the Liverpool curse. You see, there was once a trend that if you were ungrateful to Liverpool and left the club on bad terms, you just will never regain your peak again. Liverpool will always be remembered as the last club where you played well. It happened to Michael Owen. He came up from the Liverpool Academy and rose to the highest of highs, even winning the Ballond just 4 days after his 22nd birthday, making him the second youngest winner in the award's history. He was destined to retire as one of the greatest to ever do it. But then he made the decision to abandon his boyhood club at the peak of his career in search of greener pastures at Real Madrid. But his career took a hit from that point on. In fact, he spent just 1 year at Real Madrid, after which he returned to England, joining Newcastle, and then his injury woes began and he just could not recover. To crown it all, he ended up pulling off the ultimate betrayal by moving to Manchester United, but that did absolutely nothing for him and his career. Until he retired, he never came close to the levels he showed at Liverpool. Of course, everyone remembers what happened to Fernando Torres as well. He left Liverpool halfway into the season, taking a move to rivals Chelsea. And it's not even just that he left, it was how he left. Liverpool rejected Chelsea's first bid for him in January 2011. Then Torres tried to force a move by handing in a transfer request the next day. That too was rejected by Liverpool. But after much pressure, he eventually got his move to Chelsea for a British transfer record fee. Well, do we need to remind you what happened? Torres went from being the best striker in the league to the absolute worst. He was labelled a massive flop. Until this day, he remains one of the biggest flops in Premier League history. The images of some really unbelievable misses in a Chelsea shirt remain etched in the memories of football fans all around the world. What about Philippe Coutinho? In his case, Jurgen Klopp literally begged him to stay back and told him that he would end up with a statue at Anfield if he did. But the Brazilian insisted he wanted to go to Barcelona and win trophies, and well, you know what happened. He got his super expensive move to Barcelona in January 2018, and after he left, Liverpool went on to dominate and win everything, while Coutinho flopped horribly at Barcelona. Unable to hack it there, he ended up at Aston Villa in a couple years, and even there, he couldn't crack it. All of this led to him being forced out of Europe at the relatively early age of 31. Till today, Coutinho's prime remains his time at Liverpool. We can keep this list going with the likes of Emre Can and Jorginho Wijnaldum, who also seem to show some sort of underappreciation for Liverpool, leaving the club at their prime, and they, as well, ended up falling off a cliff. So it felt like there was a curse around players who force a move out of Liverpool or leave the club on bad terms. I know some of you are probably asking, what about the likes of Luis Suarez and Xabi Alonso? They also left and moved to bigger clubs, but you see, both those guys left quite respectfully. Suarez could have left in 2013. He came super close to forcing a move that year, citing media pressure on him and his family after the biting incident in the Chelsea game. It was that year that Arsenal came with that cheeky bid for him, but he reversed his decision, gave the club 1 more year, a European Golden Shoe and PFA Player of the Year season at that, and left respectfully while generating a lot of income for the club. In Xabi Alonso's case, he didn't even want to leave at all, and he would not have if not for Benitez. So far, the curse looked like it was really potent. In fact, looking at Trent this season, it still felt potent. After what Liverpool fans would call a betrayal in the summer, he appears to have massively fallen off this season. He's suffered an embarrassment at the hands of PSG at the Club World Cup, has suffered a lot of injuries which has massively affected his game time this season. He appears to have lost his place in the England squad and is at real risk of missing out on the World Cup, and the icing on the cake was that he was on the losing side on his return to Anfield. But with everyone everywhere falling to this curse, there came one man who absolutely turned everything around. We'll talk about him in a second, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, this is a very good time to go do that so you never miss out on our amazing content. Now back to the video. You see, the moment Diaz saw that Barcelona and Bayern Munich were interested in him, Diaz insisted on leaving Liverpool in the summer. Bayern were offering him a lot more in wages, a number Liverpool were never going to match, so he decided he was out and just didn't look back. Many Liverpool fans thought that things would have followed the usual trend and both Diaz and Trent would suffer at their new clubs while Liverpool would march on to greater heights, especially with all their new signings. But while the curse seems to have caught up to Trent, Diaz appears to have completely avoided it. The Colombian is really enjoying life at Bayern Munich, still yet to taste defeat this season. He has been directly involved in 16 goals in 18 appearances across all competitions for his new club, which is more than any Liverpool player has managed all season. And even though we're not even halfway into the season yet, it's already safe to say that the 2025-26 season is the best individual season in Luis Díaz's career so far. That's how much he seems to have made a mockery of the so-called curse. But here's the thing, it doesn't just seem like Diaz has avoided the curse, it feels like he has even reversed it. You see, the way this curse always went, the ungrateful player would get worse while Liverpool would get better. This time though, everything's different. While Diaz is currently flying high with Bayern Munich, Liverpool are experiencing the lowest low they have experienced in a long time. They have now won just 3 of their last 12 games across all competitions. They are already out of the EFL Cup, now find themselves in the bottom half of the Premier League table, and are at real risk of missing out on direct qualification for the knockout rounds of the UEFA Champions League. This is a complete reversal of what their season looked like last season. At this point last season, Liverpool were sitting at the top of both the Champions League and Premier League tables, but after having spent over £500 million in the summer, they somehow look much worse this season. I mean, it's one thing to lose to the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea, but for a team of this stature and quality to lose by 3 goals to PSV and relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest at home, yeah, that's a completely different level, and you won't blame anybody for starting to be a little superstitious because none of this feels normal anymore. In fact, if you are that deep into the superstition, you could argue that Diaz has completely reversed the curse and turned it on Liverpool, but the Reds only caught a break against Real Madrid just so Trent would not escape the curse. It's very interesting, isn't it? But what do you think about this? This is just us trying to make sense of everything that is happening to Liverpool right now. We thought Manchester City's title defense last season was bad, but this is actually much worse. What other conspiracy theories or superstitions do you have that could possibly explain this? Share them with us in the comments. It doesn't matter how outlandish or ridiculous they sound, we want to hear them all. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.
Do you want to make money with affiliate marketing? Join the Goal90 Shop affiliate program and start earning today. Get your unique affiliate link and exclusive discount coupon to share with your audience. Every sale made through your link earns you a 10% commission. No limits, just real earnings. Don't miss out. Turn your influence into income now.